Today we're at Birmingham Central Library to deliver a masterclass for the National Poetry Centres and the Literacy Trust Young Poet Laureate programme.
Former Birmingham Poet Laureate Jasmine Gardozi worked with the secondary pupils as I worked with the primary children, and here I am in the library getting started and listening to an early arriver whose school, Walford Primary in Birmingham, I initially visited during the first phase of the project. Pictured here. Here I am delivering a whole school respect assembly at his school. From over 1,000 entries to the Young Poet Laureate project across the West Midlands, he was shortlisted to be one of the 12 ambassadors to represent the region, out of whom the Young Poet Laureates will be selected, which is what this special day was all about. Jasmine and I delivering our performance masterclasses with the shortlisted primary and secondary students in preparation for a live performance showcase in front of judges later on in the afternoon. I led the National Literacy Trust West Midlands Primary School Performance Poetry Masterclass, so primary and secondary teachers, here are some hints and tips that you can use during your lessons to support your oracy outcomes, or as we at Memorhyme say, here's how we go from page to stage. I tend to open with a short introduction, fun freestyle literature poem featuring all the children and staff's names, plus any words that they can think of that are considered impossible to rhyme. Typical words include orange, purple, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Rhyming couplets for orange could include cringe, singe, lozenge. For purple, we have circle and turtle. And for supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, we have precocious, atrocious, and focus. For example, getting these young, incredible writers together who are so precocious is kind of magical, like supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Wasting their potential would be atrocious, so it's better we come together, work hard and focus. There we go, quick little... Anyway, by now I would have lightened the mood, each child feeling included with a positive mention of their name during our live literature freestyle poem. Also introduced the idea of them working together during the rhyme challenge, plus establishing my credentials somewhat as the lead poet. And then we move on to many of Memorhyme's engaged tasks, which we utilise in schools, tried and tested. The first one being a opposites poem, where you simply task the pupils to say the opposite to what you're saying. So you start off by saying, if I say left, you say, and then they'll fill in the gap with right, left, right, left, right. If I say day, then you'd say night, day, night, day, night. If I say big, then you say small, big, small, etc., etc. And then there's a great team-based competitive word rhyming game called Word Wars, which we utilise as well. And if you want to learn more about these engaged tasks, you'll find those in our resources, which you can find more about at the end of this video. Now we're at a stage where everyone's more familiar with each other, speaking, sharing, feeling relaxed. Just look at the smiles on these people's faces, including the staff. Then we moved on to some oracy warm-ups, so some breathing, some tongue twister challenges, she saw seashells on the seashore, unique, New York, New York, unique, and many more. Then we move on to the poems. So up until this point, the pupils haven't even performed their poems yet to anybody. Now, the more the pupils can say their poems aloud, the better. People earn thousands of pounds per hour to give an engaging talk competently. As a performance poet, similar rules apply. You have to focus on what you are saying and doing and performing, despite possible distractions that could be going on whilst you're doing this, which could affect your confidence during the course of delivery, such as a squeaky door opening, someone coughing, a chair being screeched across the floor, a baby crying, a phone ringing, etc. This focus exercise is a great way to ease into performing aloud, as no one is singled out, as everyone is performing at the same time. So everyone's in the same boat. First is worst. It's not about reading the poem perfect straight away. Students can mumble, bumble and stumble their way through. So we moved on to the next challenge, which was a tone challenge, where they whispered their poem all together. Then we concentrated on eye contact, picking a member of staff to give eye contact to, so students lift their eyes off the page to engage the audience with their eye contact whilst performing. Then we looked at varying pitch, adding pauses, projecting with playground voices, performing emotionally, then further emphasising facial expression and body language with non-verbal performances, showing the audience what the poem is about with 0 words or sounds, as according to Dr. Morabian and many other communication specialists, 55% of influential communication comes from body language alone. So lots of ingredients to improve the conveying of ideas, using all the communication instruments and tools available from the Poet's Toolbox. Shifting the gears back down again from kinesthetic and active to a bit more sedate and a bit more conversational, we sat down and spoke together as a group to discuss ambassadorship and what the role meant from the children's perspective. So answers suggested that the future of performance poetry is indeed in very good hands, with each of these young custodians of poetry looking to positively promote the art form and support all voices wherever possible. So that's great. Then the question was asked, is the world perfect? Many voices said no and gave their reasons, which also branched into the important topic of being a voice for positive social change, stirring words to raise awareness, ask questions and share solutions. As Benjamin Zephaniah often used to say, you can't change the world at one time, you have to change the world one heart at a time. So, after lunch, all the primary and secondary students came together to showcase their performances in front of staff, parents, carers and judges who listened intently throughout the showcase. Soon after, the judges reassembled in a separate room to discuss shortlistings for the Poet Laureate roles. Most of the judges are in this photo. From left, we have the former Birmingham Poet Laureate, Jasmine Gardozzi. Next, we have Birmingham's Hub Manager for the National Literacy Trust, Erin Gilby. Then we have Claire McGreevy, Project Lead from the National Literacy Trust. Then we have Nick Barley, Director of the National Poetry Centre, working alongside the National Poet Laureate, Simon Armitage, and as part of his legacy project. Then there's myself, CEO of Memorhyme, and taking the picture, in this case, is Sharina Lee Sati, Project Manager for the National Literacy Trust. A huge congratulations to all the young stars, and of course, thanks to all the staff, parents and carers involved in making today happen, pooling this huge range of talent together from across the span in the West Midlands for poetry masterclasses here at Birmingham Central Library, the largest public library in Europe. For more information about the Young Poet Laureate project, please visit nationalpoetrycentre.org.uk or literacytrust.org.uk. If you are interested in Memorhyme's Engage, Page, Stage and Digital Age, Values, Oracy resources, fun whole school visits and special offers, please visit memorhyme.org.uk or email me, Alan Curley McGeechee at schoolbooking@memorhyme.org.uk.
Primary school values, virtues and character resources for Key Stage 2, 7 to 11-year-olds, helping teachers, schools and academy trusts increase students' literacy and oracy engagement, as well as their curricular attainment outcomes. Click on the buttons on our interactive PDF to instantly utilise our Engage, Page, Stage and Digital Age resources. Each segment has a helpful teacher's introduction, advising on how to maximise impact of the resources for your whole class, whole school or whole trust. Engage, listening and speaking with fun activities and pre-written poems, then inspire students to produce poetry on the page with support from our memo-rhyming robot, who will also help your students go from page to stage to perform their poems, applying fun activities to build public speaking and oracy confidence. Then take solo, group or whole class performances and poems to the digital age with cool cut and paste backgrounds and sounds to produce an impactful showcase on the same day, or work towards an amazing showcase for an annual school celebration for any time of the year. You can also access our guide to animate poems to create your own class, school or trust animated values, virtues and character poetry anthology to reinforce your school values year on year. Or book a mass engagement enrichment experience for your whole school, where our specialist poet visits your school in person and delivers a whole school assembly, performance support for classes throughout the day, and hosts a whole school values, virtues and character poetry slam showcase during the final hour before home time. Online sessions and 1 hour in-person assemblies are also available. Please click the link to view our impact report based on just a few of our projects delivered recently.
Respect every single person's ethnic cultural traditions!
Feel free to join us on our weekly CPD support sessions to answer any questions to support your values projects, and we also have a team on hand who can produce your animated values poetry anthology for you. Purchase and use the resources right now via our website shop, memorhyme.org.uk, or via our Stan store, that is stan.store/memorhyme. Any queries, please email me at schoolbooking@memorhyme.org.uk. Two incredibly impactful literacy consultants who I really do take note of are Jim Treelise, who wrote the bestseller, The Read Aloud Handbook, and Pi Corbett, well known for his thoughtful writing. Grammar development for children and teacher training emphasise, first and foremost, just how important it is that children hear and practice saying a range of words in meaningful sentences in order for them to comprehend and use in sentences themselves, be it in their speech, their writing, or indeed their actions and their behaviours. And I'll never forget this inspiring quote by Jim Treelise, which states, "If a child doesn't hear the word, they can't say the word. If they can't say the word, they can't read the word. And if they can't read the word, they can't write the word." So it all starts with the children hearing these words being used in meaningful sentences. This is why, where possible, we encourage Key Stage 1 to be at least present in the Key Stage 2 showcase so that they can hear and see their older peers promote important values, virtues, vocabulary and behaviours. So having Key Stage 1 in the hall, if you have capacity, watching Key Stage 2 can really support the culture within the school which you're trying to promote, as the Key Stage 1 obviously look up to the bigger kids. As specialist mass engagement spoken word poets, we at Memorhyme are very committed to supporting and serving all educators, parents and children the best we can. So for more ideas on performance, please visit the stage section of the resource, or if you'd like your children or child to have a go at writing their own values, virtues and character poem, then please go to the page section of the resource. Any questions? Please don't hesitate to reach out or join us on our Zoom and team calls, and the information for that can be found in the digital age section. Thank you for listening. Bye for now.
Our Values, Virtues, and Oracy program is transforming schools through creative poetry and performance.